Hey guys, so I saw this grad inspired braid by the Dollhouse and I tried it out for the first time, and this is what I could come up with. Okay, so for the grad braid, I sectioned my hair into two halves. That's the top half and the bottom half. Then I sectioned a little rectangle into the bottom half because that's where our star will be. So for our G, we are going to part the section into the first quarter. So we're just going to do it. For you to be better, I just cut it into two parts, then you part it into four. So for our G, we're gonna have a little curve at the top. Just curve a little so that it will not be too square. I wanted it to be very fine. And once you're done with the curve, you're going to bring down the tail of the G because it's not the normal G, it's the cursive writing G. So you're just going to section off a little portion from the leftover of the hair. That's what I did. So now we're just going to part it into another curve, or just into two, for the first part of the G and then the bottom part of the G. Then we're just going to section the second part into a little curve because that's where the tail of the G would be. You just part it a little curve, then you remove the remaining part of the hair. So we're done with our G. Then the next letter is the R. So for the R, we'll just section off another box that we've already cut out two halves out of the hair, out of the section. So we'll just part another line for our R. Then once you're done with that, you just curve it again. Remember that the R has a curve, so you're just going to curve it to make sure that the letters come out beautifully, just come out so pretty. So that's just what I'm trying to do. You curve it, and then we've brought out the section for the R letter. Then the next letter is the A. You section the remaining half into two again. That's for the A and the D. So once you're done sectioning, you just carve a little diagonal line to make the top of the A pointy. Just part it like you want to do an upside down V. So you just part it, and then you try to make the top of the A a little bit pointy. And here is the letter A section. So this is what it should look like, a little bit pointy. Then this is the last part, that is the D. You're just going to give a curve down, like a semi-curve or a semicircle. Just curve it down to the end. That's to give our letter D shape. Then because we have the end of the G, so we have to part a little line, like a dash line at the end of the D, just so you could weave it all together. So that's what I'm just doing here. I parted it from the end of the D. That is the part, this line I'm making is to connect the hair together when I'm done braiding. Now this first section is for our G section. I'm just going to part a little line from the edge of the stroke side so that from the line, from the part we made, just gonna part a little line, then we curve it, we weave it together, and you curve it down to the where you made the curve, the first curve you made for the letter G. Oh well, you just get it. You weave it from the inside, try to make it pointy, then you just curve it out. So here I'm almost done. Here I'm done with the first curve, that's the curve for the letter G. And then the bottom half that we section out, we'll just part it into two. You're going to part it into two, and you weave it from the, like, where you ended the G, you just weave it into the second part, that's the right hand part of the hair you section into two. And then when you're done with that, you just weave it, you curve it upwards to meet up with the left hand part, so everything is going upwards. So this is what, just like an infinity, a half infinity. So that's what it is for the G. Now it's time for the R. For the R, it's very simple. You just part it into two, like but the top half should be a little bit bigger than the bottom half. Then once you're done with that, you section out a small part, a small line, that's the R for the stroke of the R. You know, an R is a stroke down, a curve, and then a diagonal line. So I just section the hair into 4 halves, 4 or into 3, because if you mix those two together, it's going to be 1. So when you're done with the whole pattern, you just weave the G. You continue from where the G stopped, and you weave it into the stroke that we made. That is into the base of the R, the first part that we made. And then you just weave it together with the second, that's the top half of the curve, and you try to make the R go inside, like try to curve it well. Then when you're done with that, you weave the remaining part into like a diagonal line. And here we are done with our G and R, and this is what it looks like. Now for the A. For our A, we'll just section it into 2 halves. Yes, since it's already in its pointy way, we just section it into 2 halves. And while we're weaving together, we'll bring out a section for the dash of the A. That's the line that will be in between the 2 halves. So here I'm just from the base of your R, from the end of your R, you weave it together into the first section of the A. Then you make sure to bring out a little hair, just so you could add it to the other part of the braid, the other part of the A braid when you're braiding it down, so that it can give you the letter A look. So here I'm just weaving it, and just try to make the top pointy. Then when you're done with weaving that, you add the section you made, that's the hair you left out. You add it together and you just weave it down together. And this is our A. This is what it looks like. This is the G, R, and the A. As you can see, the hair we left out and we added it again, made the A come out very well. And now for our D, letter D, we just do the same thing of parting a little line, not into 2, just part a little line, and then you join the end of the A together with the base of the D, and then you weave it all together. What you're going to see. Weaving the curve, you just the dash line that you made, you just weave it together with our D, and we join it all together to meet up with the letter G. Okay, I'm done with it, and this is what it looks like. GRAD, grad inspired hair. This is the whole head. As you can see, it's very, 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 very pretty. I'm so in love with this hair. I'm so in love with the G. And this is, I incorporated it into a hairstyle, and this is the hairstyle.